What's up, everybody? This is a Force of Nature Spiritual Awakening, and today we will be discussing Neptune in the fourth house. But first, we're going to break down Neptune and what Neptune is all about. So, Neptune is a generational planet in our solar system, okay? It has to do with generations at a time, but it also has to do with spirituality. It has to do with madness, confusion, okay, chaotic situation, chaos, addictions, okay, struggling with escapism. It has to do with deception, even deceiving yourself, inspiration, inspiring somebody. It has to do with your dreams, things that you dream about, even when you daydream. Magic, being very mystical, being psychic. And it also brings illusion and delusion. Okay? Sometimes things is an optical illusion. Dealing with Neptune, Neptune brings on a fog and a haze where it's not clear. Okay? So now the fourth house. The fourth house in the natal birth chart has to do with the sign Cancer. Cancer rules over the natal fourth house in the birth chart. And it's ruled by the moon. And the moon represents your emotions, your feelings, the way that you feel deep down inside, your shadow self, things that people do not easily see unless they really know you on a level. They have to have a bond with you to even be able to get into this area. It represents your mother, okay? The way that she raised you early on in childhood. So now the fourth house in the natal birth chart represent these same exact things, okay? Your roots, your ancestors, your past life, your life in this one, okay? Your family dynamic, all in general, even all the way down to the house property, okay? It's going to show you things that went on, things that took place early on in your life that shaped and mold you into the person that you are today. So we're going to jump right into this. Neptune in the fourth house. When you have Neptune in the fourth house, these men and women deal with family secrets surrounding the house that they might know of and they might not know of. Okay, this can play out many different ways. These people were very much lied to in some kind of form about their lineage, about their background, about who they really are. These people can go on in the world probably not even knowing who their parents are. Okay, could play out a lot of different ways. These men and women could have been adopted. They could have been orphans. They could have had a parent that died early on in their life. They could have had parents or a parent that they thought was their mother. Thought that they was their sister and ended up coming out to be their mother. They could have also had somebody that was their mother, and they thought that was their mother, and she was not the mother. And later on in life, they find out that somebody else was. However, there are a lot of family secrets within the household. And these people very early on in life probably had to keep a family secret, even if it wasn't that. Okay, so say for example, the family was into some heavy duty criminal acts, okay, but they were very religious, they were very into the church or something like that. And this individual, this child, was told to keep things quiet. What stays in the house should just stay in the house. What goes on here should just stay here. It shouldn't be exposed. It's nobody else's business. And early on, they felt the need to have to carry on the burden of not exposing these secrets. Now, this could have very well happened, and these men and women probably don't even remember it, okay, because Neptune brings the fog and the haziness. So these men and women can look at their family members and even glorify them, look at them in a light that they're not even in. Their family members could probably be into the most dangerous, malicious, have even devilish acts going on them. And the person that has Neptune in the fourth house may not even be aware of the full extent of how heavy these people are into whatever they're into. They could just look at them as great people, um, somebody that has a lot of wise knowledge, inspirational. Okay. Also, with this placement, their mother could have had a illness, and they could have probably had to step up and take care of their mother. All right. She could have struggled with drugs, had drugs addictions, even struggling with medication. Okay. She could have probably took a lot of pills. Also, it doesn't have to be just the father, even though a lot of times it is the mother. It could be the father. The father could have very well had been into drugs and alcohol himself, okay, and had one too many drinks, and now he lost his mind. He is not the same. His mind is now altered, and he is now a new person, and a lot of things could have went on and took place, and they could have covered this thing up very well, made it seem like something else was going on with him. That was not the case, okay? Say, for example, a parent died. They could have lied to the child and told the child that, hey, well, he died because of this, or she died because of that, and that wasn't even the reason. So it's a lot of things that are secretive, a lot of things that are not being said that should have been said, should have been brought out to the light, and sometimes these things are brought out to the light, but it happens later on in life. And if it happens early on in life, the child was probably just so young to the point that it's all the way pushed back into their subconscious mind that they cannot pinpoint or figure this out. Now, with this placement, these men and women could very well live very close to water. Okay, I mean, the water might not be right around the corner or right up the block, but they could have been living very close to water, or even living close to a cemetery. Okay, for some reason, this placement is definitely linked to that. Also, with this placement, these men and women could have lived in a home that did have a lot of spirits in it. Okay, just a lot of ghosts per se. Okay, but I'm gonna say spirits, just spirits roaming around in the house. Okay, and these people could have picked up a kind of orphanage vibe, just feeling like something's up, something's going on. Not really felt safe and secure in the home. Okay. Also, with this placement, um, going into the child not feeling safe and secure, a lot of things could have went on and took place in this home, and that parents could have fully been aware that things were going on and taking place. Okay. They could have had if it was a mother, she could have had a lot of different men in the home, or just a lot of people coming over, or just having an inviting house where people were always welcome. Okay, and the child, it signals something in the child that he probably just did not feel safe. Something could have probably happened to the child with just company coming over. Also, it could have been somebody that was actually living in the house that did something to this child. All right. It could play out many different ways. It's not just one. Okay. So you do need to check out your natal birth chart to see how everything is hitting, because it does tell a story. It lets you know how things are going to really manifest. Okay. What else am I going to say about this? Okay. So these men and women would do very well in anything that has to do with being creative. Okay, they could be actors, singers, actresses. All right, even a superstar, a movie star. They can be a celebrity, and even if they do not take full advantage of that, they're still going to be drawn to these type of things. So these men and women would very well much love to probably watch movies, love stories. They might even be great writers, love to just listen to music, just be able to lay back and kick back and vibe, just kick it, enjoy themselves. This is where they feel free. Early on in their childhood, even growing up in the home, they could have very well just spent a lot of time to themselves, more in the room than being in the whole family settings. They can probably question in their mind if this is actually their family, feeling like they are the eyeball, feeling like they are the black sheep. They are quite different. They are not the same. And a lot of times, these men and women could have been adopted, okay? Could have been orphans, all right? As I said earlier, they might find out later that their mother is not even their mother. Their father's not even their father. And sort of siblings that they have are now not even their siblings. You see what I'm saying? So this could be really crazy and chaotic just for a child and even an adult. Finding out information like that is very disturbing to the mind, and it can affect your psychological mind if this ever takes place and this ever comes out. Okay. But there was a lot of hidden secrets going on here. Okay, even if they were into just any kind of devilish acts, even. Okay, I'm gonna stress that a lot because this definitely could have went on and took place. Um, the parents could have been in a high status. They could have been recognized as good, wholesome men and women. People probably looked at them and respected them. And the things that they may have been into would have definitely tarnished their names. It really would have brought them down to a level of disgrace. And this actual burden, this heavy weight, was put on into this child's life to be able to protect their self image, the parents. Okay, could have probably told them, this is nobody's business but the Lord's. This is nobody's business but God's. And could have got real technical with them. Could have really fucked with them on a mental level that these children, because they're only kids, could only think in their mind that I must do this. I must do it, and I must protect them. Because this is what it does to a child. They don't know any better but to do what they're told. Okay. Also, with this placement, somebody around them could have very well been their mother also. I don't know why this is not lighting. Could have very well been their mother also. Okay. She could have not been there for the child emotionally. Okay. She could have probably been into something else and attending to other things more than the child. The mother could have been very childlike, very childish, probably had the child very young, or wasn't fully equipped and fully prepared when the child came into the world. Also with the father, he could have been young and not ready to really be a dad, not ready to be a father. But now the child is here and you have to take on this role. So these parents could have very much, like I said, it could have been a structured home, okay, living very well, okay, probably had obstacles and struggles financially, okay, because that definitely could have took a place too. And because of that, they could have done a lot of different things, just devious things could have went on and took place, and the child probably caught it, okay, probably seen the father doing drugs, saw the mother doing drugs, saw drugs in the house. Things like that could have went on and happened and took place. And this child, even as an adult right now, could very well not even remember or even be able to stem back. With this placement, it's very strong for these men and women to not quite fully remember their early childhood clearly. So they can very much remember certain things, but it's very vague. It's not clear enough. It's like, oh, I remember going to the store with dad, or I remember when me and mom did dad, but it's not to the full extent. It's not like, and then we did this, and then we went here, and then we did, it's not that. It's not that they remember what they want to remember. Okay, and it could have been so traumatic and had an effect on this child to the point where they really blocked it out. They blocked it completely out their mind so that they did not have to think about it, did not want to deal with it. They could have also just seen one of their parents really just suffering. okay, with an illness. Okay, could have been very sick. One of the parents could have been very, very sick, and they could have just seen their parent really suffering, and it could have really took a toll on the child as well. Just seeing the pain, the hurt, the strife, just seeing everything in their parent. You know, also, it's a lot of unanswered questions that this child might have about their lineage. Okay, just wanting to know certain things. You know, if they ask about their grandparents or their grandparents' sisters or brothers and things like that, their parent now probably will be very short-winded, short-worded with them on how things went with them, how things really were. Okay, could have very well been that maybe one of your grandparents also probably had a mental disorder, or maybe they were a little crazy, a little schizophrenic. You know, a lot of things could go on and take place with this placement, and they want to hold the family secret. They don't want to expose it. They don't want to let it out. They don't want you to look at things for what they truly are. Okay, a lot of unanswered questions could go on in this placement. So, in a sense, these men and women were very much forced in order to keep things hidden. So now in their adult life, they are very private and secretive themselves. Okay, they don't want to expose certain things about themselves. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, if you know somebody with Neptune in the fourth house and you have a good bond with them, of course they'll be able to be free and open up to you in some kind of way. But there's a lot of things that these men and women might not even remember to even be able to expose certain things to. And because it's pushed back in their subconscious mind and it's not so much brought to the conscious, um, they can still play these things out and not even realize that they're withholding information still. Okay. But they can be very private people about their life and their love lives, just their home in general. They can look at their home as a temple, a safe place, especially if they're homeowners, because now they don't have that feeling like that nervous energy, feeling like I'm not going to be okay, or just feeling very nervous. Like I said, they could have been the type of kids that only came out to eat for dinner. You know, came out when they was just about to leave to go outside and play, and came back in and went back in their rooms. Could have been these type of children. Um, Also, with this placement, their parents could very well be some type of a victim themselves. And now with the child, uh, if the parent has a mental illness, or if the parent, let's say it's the mother, and she wasn't there emotionally, wasn't showing up on an emotional level for the child does not fault the mother. Okay, she doesn't look at the mother as you were a bad mom, or you didn't do this, you didn't do that, or anything like that. This placement actually makes the Neptune in fourth house person look at the mom still as, this is my mom, and I'm going to be there for her. They don't fault her for her flaws and her shortcomings. They just take it for what it was, and they look at it also as she wasn't ready, or she just, this is how she is. She's just detached. And they come up with a whole bunch of different things to justify whatever was really going on. So they do look at their mothers, especially, in that kind of light still, okay? Still gonna ride with them, still gonna be there for them, be that stand-up person that they so much wanted for themselves. They'll still do it for her. They will still do it, okay? The moon in general is very much linked to the mother, okay? So these men and women can really show up in that kind of way. Now, with this placement, Neptune in the fourth house, men and women, do have an inheritance of occult powers, okay, that cannot be controlled, okay? It's very uncontrollable. So this could have also been given to them through their mother. And their mother may not even know or be fully aware that she holds this, but she could very well know too. See how things just play out both ways? She could know that she has these powers too and doesn't really dib and dab in it. But she could also know it and dibbed and dabbed into it very damn well. Also, it could just be also the grandparents. It came down from the grandparents of the mother. Okay? And even the father. The father could have, been into it too. Also, his mother could have been into it too. So it could play either or way. And it really depends on your natal birth chart, on how that's going to go as far as that extent. But definitely these people have those kind of powers, okay, that they can very easily tap into. Okay, very easily. They know how to maneuver in this area. They've been blessed with those gifts to be able to indulge in magic and dibble and dabble. Cast spells and crystal balls and shit. These are these men and women. They can go there if they want to. All right. Also, with this placement, their mother could have very well not had a lot of time or not spent a lot of time with this child on an emotional level. Could have very much even been into the church, okay? Or been into some kind of science church. See what I'm saying? And just was more sacrificial in that area, giving up the time, giving up their funds, um, for the church, for the sake of the cause. You see what I'm saying? Which leaves the child feeling very much disappointed, wanting to spend time with the mother, wanting to be around the mother. Okay, and then eventually, what happens is when the child gets older, they do distance themselves sometimes, just distance themselves and go and do their own thing, start their own life, their own family. And with this placement, what it does allow is for the person that has this when they have children, they have a fear that they will do the same thing. But what they don't know is that it can play out either or way. You can bring this same kind of secretive nature on to your child, or you can do the complete opposite and not want to go through what you felt like you went through and how things were to you. But definitely these people can look at their families in a completely different light even now. They can look at them like, oh my God, no, what? She would never do that. My dad, he would never do that. And let me tell you something, their parents definitely did it and will probably do it again if they had to do it. You see what I'm saying? So it plays out many different ways. This placement is something else. It's very deep, very deep. And it's very much linked to your ancestors and things that happened with them and took place with them in past lives and all types of shit like that. So this runs really far. That's why I said even with the occult powers and being very mystical and magical, it comes from a place for you to just automatically have these things innated inside of you. Okay? That's not a coincidence at all right? Not a damn bit. Yeah, so these people are very creative people, okay? They do hold within them great gifts, powerful gifts, and they really do need to utilize them to the fullest extent. I'm going to leave this on this note, and in future videos to come out, we'll be going into more depth into this placement because there is so much more to say about it. So please be sure to check out my online store. It is Grimy Gear at www.grimygear.com. If you need a caterer, be sure to hit me up. I am the Chef Goddess also at supremeroyalcatering@gmail.com. If you need my husband to do any work to your home, swimming pool, or business, be sure to hit him up at Steve's Handy Helpers at Aron Nesbitt 90 gmail@gmail.com. If you need me to analyze your birth chart and break it down for you, it will be $70. If you need me to do a compatibility chart, synastry chart, composite chart, I got you. It's $90. So, this has been A Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening. Love is love. Peace and blessings to you all. And I'm going to holla and see y'all in the next one.